Welcome to our time together. The topic for this week's devotions is kindness, because that's the theme of our church's Vacation Bible School that we're having. In my last devotion, I told you about the Hebrew word hesed in the Old Testament, which describes how God is kind to us. And that word hesed means kindness, but the concept also includes words like mercy and compassion, love, grace, faithfulness. Today, we're going to look at what kindness or hesed looks like when we follow God's example. We can demonstrate the same sort of kindness in our lives that we receive from the Lord. Being kind or showing hesed when it comes to us humans means doing favors and providing benefits for other people. Frequently in the Old Testament, for example, when someone asks another person for help, they'll say, "Show me kindness." This is what Boaz told Ruth when she took care of him. He replied and said, "The Lord bless you. This kindness, this chesed, is greater than that which you showed earlier." And Proverbs 19:22 tells us how important chesed is. What is desirable in a person is their kindness. Showing kindness, showing mercy or favor, showing chesed to a friend is one thing, but we follow God's pattern of kindness the most when we show it to people who are in need. For example, in Zechariah chapter 7, we read, "This is what the Lord Almighty says. Administer true justice, show mercy or chesed, and compassion to one another. Do not oppress the widow or the fatherless, the foreigner or the poor. Do not plot evil against each other." In this passage, God points out four groups of people that we hear about over and over again in the Old Testament who deserve chesed: the widow, the orphan, the foreigner, and the poor. These were people who were at the bottom of society's ladder. They had few rights and even fewer resources. These were people who depended upon the kindness, on the chesed of other people, even to survive. And so God tells us it is important that you show kindness to them. And this is where showing kindness goes beyond what we normally think of when we think about being kind. Kindness or chesed is not just treating people nicely, saying good things to them, holding the door open for them, befriending them. No, if we want to follow God's example of showing kindness, we have to do more than what is simple or easy for us. Showing kindness, the way God shows kindness, means committing ourselves to what is beyond what is merely convenient. After all, we are following God's example, and the greatest act of kindness, the greatest act of chesed that God ever did was the cross of Jesus Christ. It was not something that came easily to him. The Father had to surrender his beloved Son. Christ suffered a terrible death, and he did it to show his kindness, to show his chesed to us, because we were in such desperate need of it. Living in kindness, the way God teaches us to live in kindness, doesn't come easy. It means putting yourself on the line, especially when you are showing kindness for the people who need it the most, people like the widow and the orphan and the foreigner and the poor people. And we can express chesed in many other ways as well. For example, there's a popular and very good slogan in schools: "Be the kind kid." It is easy to be the kind of person. It is easy to be kind to the people who are easy to be kind to. Let me say that again. It is easy to be kind to the people who are easy to be kind to. That comes simply. That's not a challenge. It is much harder to be kind to the people that others ignore or reject or ridicule, to be kind to the people that it is hard to be kind to. For example, if you befriend that classmate that everyone else rejects, you risk being rejected yourself. And that's true not just for school students, but it's true for us all. The people who need our kindness the most are the ones that it is hardest to show to. The people who need our kindness the most are the ones that mean we risk being rejected ourselves when we are kind to them. And again, this means following the example that God gave to us. When Jesus walked among us, he befriended the kind of people that everyone else turned away from: the poor, the diseased, the demon-possessed, the sinners, the prostitutes, the tax collectors, who were, after all, traitors to their own people. And Jesus took a lot of heat because of the people that he was kind to. And that is what hesed looks like if we have the courage to be kind to others the way that God is kind to us. Would you pray with me, please? Lord, kindness is such an easy word. And it's easy for us to think about the easy kindnesses we can do, being polite, being nice to people around us. But true kindness runs much deeper than that. Real kindness takes courage. So give us that courage, Lord, the courage to be willing to make sacrifices in order to help the people who need it the most. Amen. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk again later.